Trump administration pauses military aid to Ukraine after Oval Office clash.
Vietnam nominated as chair of 35th meeting of state parties to UNCLOS.
Raw material prices and freight rates decrease. Motivation for Nagi and businesses.
You're watching today's news on NTV. My name is Nguyễn Thị and I will be your guide through today's latest update. President Donald Trump is ordering a pause on shipment of the U.S. military aid to Ukraine after his heated Oval Office argument with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky last week.
U.S. media reported that the suspension of aid will last until Trump sees goodwill towards peace from Ukraine. This decision not only affects future aid but also affects weapons in transit, including shipments on planes and ships, as well as equipment awaiting transfer in Poland. Ukraine has not yet commented on the above move. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also announced that he is looking for a solution to end the conflict soon. Trump's decision came after a meeting between him and Zelensky in Oval Office, in which the two leaders disagreed on military aid and Ukraine's strategic stance.
Israeli airstrike on Gaza Strip on March 3rd killed at least 2 people and injured 3 others, raising concern that the ceasefire between Israel and the Hamas movement could collapse completely.
Israeli tanks stationed near the eastern and southern borders of the Gaza Strip increased their firepower and shelled the suburbs overnight. The Israeli military said its forces opened fire on a motorboat in the coastal area of Khan Yunis for violating security restrictions in the area and posing a threat. In fact, the first phase of a ceasefire between Israel and Palestinian militant group Hamas that began in January ended over the weekend with no agreement on what will happen next. Hamas says an agreed second phase must now begin, leading to a permanent Israeli withdrawal and an end to the war. Israel has instead offered a temporary extension into April, with Hamas to release more hostages in return for Palestinian detainees.
The group of Asian Pacific states at the United Nations agreed to nominate Vietnam for the position of chair of the 35th meeting of the state parties to the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. The position will be officially elected just before the meeting slated for June 23rd to 27 at the UN headquarters in New York.
This will be the first time Vietnam has assumed the position of SPLOS chair since becoming a member of the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, in 1994. The nomination reflects the high trust and recognition from the international community for Vietnam's leading efforts in implementing and strengthening the universal values of UNCLOS, as well as its positive contributions to the work of the UN. Holding the position will be an opportunity for the country to continue asserting its role as a responsible member state of UNCLOS and to make a meaningful contribution to global efforts in ocean governance.
Coming up next are some updated news.
The targets set out in the action program on breakthroughs in science, technology, innovation and national digital transformation by 2030. The potential and level of science, technology and innovation of Nghệ An will reach advanced levels in many important areas. Science, technology and innovation will develop steadily, truly becoming the driving force for economic growth of the province. The level and capacity of technology and innovation of enterprises will reach levels above the national average. The PE Innovation Index is in the top 20 of the country. The contribution of total factor productivity, TFP, to economic growth is over 55%. Nghệ An will be in the group of 25 provinces and cities with the best digital transformation index of the country.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, agricultural, forestry, and fisheries production remained stable in the first 2 months of 2025, achieving positive results. Regarding exports, the sector recorded a total export value of $9.38 billion United States dollars, with most key commodities experiencing growth, except for rice and fruits. which saw declines compared to the same period last year. The US, China, and Japan remained Vietnam's top 3 agricultural export markets. In 2025, the agricultural sector aims to export $65 billion United States dollars. The ministry's leaders affirmed that they will continue to synchronously implement solutions to promote production and export growth in the following months, creating momentum to achieve the target for the whole year.
From March 9th to 13th, in Buon Ma Thuot City, Dak Lak Province, the 9th Buon Ma Thuot Coffee Festival in 2025 will take place. The festival is a practical activity to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the victory of Buon Ma Thuot and the liberation of Dak Lak Province. This event is also significant in promoting the Buon Ma Thuot coffee brand, establishing the image of Buon Ma Thuot City as the coffee capital of the world, with 17 main activities: a specialty coffee roasting competition, a specialized coffee and OCOP product exhibition fair, Wandon Elephant Festival, Street Festival, and many other activities. In particular, the festival will provide tens of thousands of free cups of coffee for visitors and residents, thereby contributing to promoting socio-economic development, tourism, attracting investment and affirming the position of Dak Lak Province as well as the Vietnamese coffee industry in the world.
After a period of price increases and many fluctuations in 2024, in the first month of the year, input material prices as well as international container freight rate have decreased sharply by 20 to 30%. Along with favorable consumption market, this is an opportunity for businesses to accelerate production in the first month of the year.
According to businesses, currently, compared to the peak period last year, international freight rates have decreased by 40 to 50%, and on average, each week, freight rates decrease by about 3 to 4% compared to the previous week. This reduces financial pressure and time for businesses exporting goods. As for businesses producing for domestic consumption, the decrease in basically stable input material prices also greatly support production, product structure, and cost. Paper materials account for a large proportion of the finished product structure of this business. A 20 to 30% price reduction will help businesses reduce costs and increase competitive products.
Our company can supply 50% of paper materials ourselves, and the other 50% is imported from other provinces. In the first months of the year, the price of input paper materials decreased. That is an opportunity for us to sell and compete with customers on price in the coming time.
Input materials and freight rates account for a large part of the production and finished product structure of each business. Being proactive in raw materials, shipping and exporting goods and having reduced prices with little fluctuation are competitive advantages for businesses. In addition, the current increase in purchasing power, favorable output markets, including traditional markets and newly expanded markets, are supporting production and business activities of businesses.
The price of input materials has decreased by 5 to 10%. Therefore, the overall picture of production in 2025 will be better than last year. Our company will be more profitable, thereby developing the market.
The first months of the year have seen many bright spots in the industrial production and export activities of businesses in the province. In addition to the factors of reduced freight rates, transportation, and input materials, tax incentives and banks' determination to stabilize interest rates are also effectively supporting businesses to accelerate in the first quarter, striving to achieve the double-digit growth targets set out by the province for this year.
That is the end of today's news. Thanks for your watching and see you next time.